cracker out there on the right, 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 calling him some birther type who says he's not an American. Welcome back to this special edition of Hardball. Tonight, I want to thank personally Liberty Mutual, what a great company, for giving us this opportunity to examine the Obama presidency 2 years in. In the past 2 years, the language and images used against President Obama have been more than just critical. Let's face it, they've sought to villainize and in some cases delegitimizing him by questioning whether he's actually a born in the United States president. Let's listen.
Barack Obama has one thing in common with God. You know what it is? God does not have a birth certificate either.
Why can't the President of the United States produce a birth certificate?
Do you believe that Barack Obama is a legitimate native-born American or not?
That is not what this bill is about, Chris.
No, what do you believe?
As far as I know, yes. Okay?
As far as you know,
yeah.
I'm showing you his birth certificate. Well, that didn't do any good. Joining me right now is MSNBC political analyst Michelle Bernard, who's president of Bernard Center for Women, Politics, and Public Policy. Melissa Harris-Perry is an MSNBC contributor and also a Princeton professor. And Michael Smerconi is my pal from MSNBC. He's our contributor as well and nationally syndicated on radio. Let me all start with this. What you just saw, Michelle, this starting with the seed of doubt they keep pushing, which he's not really legitimate. He shouldn't be there. In fact, he's not born in this country.
Yeah, it's actually, looking at the video clips, it's pretty embarrassing. And I remember, 2 years ago, we were sitting on the set talking really excitedly about living in a post-racial America. I really wanted to believe at that point in time that we were truly on the verge of becoming a completely colorblind society. But when you look at these things, when you look at the people who make statements like, I want to take my country back, as an African American, you can't help but say, who do you want to take it back from? Who stole it from you? And I think that it's embarrassing, and it has been a very difficult presidency in that perspective.
You didn't expect this birther thing.
Absolutely not.
Let me go to Melissa Harris-Perry. Melissa, thank you, Professor, for joining us once again. I've seen you earlier today. Yeah. What is this birther thing essentially an ethnic charge against the president? That somebody named Barack Obama couldn't really be an American. He's got an African name. Therefore, let's work this thing. Let's play with this thing that he wasn't born here.
I mean, certainly it's partly that. And the very fact that it coincides with this great anxiety about immigration, about wanting to change the ways in which we even think about what counts as an American citizen, all of this discourse on anchor babies. I mean, all of these things are clearly connected. But let's be clear, they're also connected to economic anxiety. Part of what happens typically in the American political history is that whenever the economic pie shrinks, we do a sort of ethnic balkanization. We sort of move to our own corners and we start to claim who doesn't have a claim on the American pie. And I think that's part of what's going on here.
But as bad as the economy got under Reagan, nobody ever said he wasn't an American.
Well, yeah,
you laugh because it's so absurd. See, this is the thing. Michael, this is what's different. No one would say George W., if they thought he had an IQ of 4, would still say he was a 4 IQ American. They wouldn't question his legitimacy to be here, although his IQ was obviously higher. He went to Harvard Business. But the fact is, even if you really didn't like the guy, you wouldn't deny his legitimacy. This president had, look at these numbers, Michael, 27% of respondents say that President Obama was probably or definitely born in some other country. Among Republicans, it's almost half. 41% walk around with what they say is a doubt about whether he's legitimate or not. I don't trust that. I'd put them under sodium pentothal. I think they damn well do believe he was born here. They just wish he wasn't.
So there's already plenty of information out there. The 20% who don't know are willfully ignorant. They just don't want to know. And for the 23%, well, I think of that great movie line, you can't handle the truth. I think Neil Abercrombie, who is a great progressive Democrat, I loved him when he was in Congress here in Washington, is basically in a mug's game. There's nothing he's going to do that's going to change any mind of anybody out there who already believes this. I mean, as
but
you
what are
said
you going to
earlier,
make? Are you saying that 43% of the country country is incorrigibly stupid or resistant to truth, because we've got the poll that shows that only 58% are confident of his birth in this country. So what do you do about those other 43%? I'm just asking you, why isn't Abercrombie on the right trail here to at least go to the 20 or 30%? You can't, obviously the nutcases on the far right who hate this guy aren't going to ever admit that you're right, but why not get to the people who are confused?
You've lost the 23% already. I would just write them off, send them a holiday.
43% of the country is off the list.
No, the 23% who say that they know he wasn't born here.
It's 20,
I would just write them off, send them a holiday card.
Okay, what about the 23? Are they worth going for?
I think the 20% just don't know because they haven't paid enough attention. If they paid enough attention already, the facts that you're holding in your hand would be enough to convince them. They just don't, maybe just don't care enough to know, or they think this is where the right wing does a good job. They've created enough of a controversy, even a fake controversy over this, that people who are listening with maybe half an ear say, well, I guess I don't really know because I understand there's some controversy going on here.
How's Abercrombie doing on his expedition to find the original document with signatures all over it, like all our birth certificates, like this one here, that somebody who was born at the same one day before has all kinds of signatures on it. It's an actual photostat. Don't we want to know if he can find it? And I don't understand why the governor doesn't just say, snap it up, who's ever over there in the Department of Records, send me a copy right now. And why doesn't the president just say, send me a copy right now? Why doesn't Gibbs and Axelrod say, let's just get this crappy story dead? Why not do it?
The president doesn't care. And
he doesn't care that 43% of the country isn't sure he's an American.
Look, Chris, that copy that you've got there, the copy that the president has provided on the web, is all you need if you're a Hawaiian to get a passport. Everybody accepts that birth certificate as proof of his citizenship, except the birthers. I don't blame him for just ignoring the crowd.
So this is the same document which would be adequate if, say, you wanted to join the CIA.
Absolutely, or to get a passport or anything else. That is proof of his birth in Hawaii.
And one question here is that the governor has asked for more information. He hasn't said it has to be the long form that you're holding there for somebody else. So if he comes up with other information that is not exactly a long form, will that satisfy or change anybody's view on this?
But the department out there just said the other day that there is such a thing. It exists. The original document of his birth is available in storage. They have it in storage, they say. Well, and if it exists, why not put it out? I'm just asking the obvious question, why not? Will there be any harm done by releasing the original document?
I will take the brave position of saying that if they can find it, they should put it out there, and then we can make even more fun of the birthers.
I'll take the brave position of saying, yeah, put it out there, and the birthers are still not going to believe it.